we started to do a $10 million deal here, $15 million deal there, you know, an $18 million deal here. But it was his approach that was intriguing to me.
So that's what I would tell somebody. You can't say no. I mean, there's always a price.
Great artists steal. And that's what you do. You take what you learn, you add your own flavor, and you continue. It's
the biggest form of flattery, basically.
So I just thought to myself, how do I take this and make it bigger? And ran with it.
Dropped everything. I'm all in, man. I'll give you everything. How long would it take me to get a deal?
It could happen in so many ways. Like the $132 million deal happened in a week.
Like it is common sense, and it's a little bit of grunt work, but it's like you said, it's simple.
And I'm totally different. I'm just a street hustler who had an opportunity to sling buildings.
#1 commercial broker in the United States. David Cohen, a multifamily specialist. He's going to teach us a lot. David, welcome.
I appreciate you, man. Andrew, thanks for having me.
I'm in the real estate and the real estate of mine.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 12. I got a special guest with us today. I'm glad this guy came and joined us. It was, a pleasant surprise, basically. We got a former #1 commercial broker in the United States, David Cohen, a multifamily specialist. He's going to teach us a lot. David, welcome.
I appreciate you, man. Andrew, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Again, man, thanks for joining us. I'm about to learn a lot about the multifamily space and kind of how you started. And usually how we start out is, I want to learn a little bit about your background, how you started, and we'll get into the details about some of these crazy deals that you're doing. And then maybe you can, give even teach some of these agents that are looking to join your field or kind of get into your niche, how you did it.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you've been in real estate your whole life, basically. You've always been in real estate?
Yeah, so you could say that. I've been in real estate pretty much. I've been around real estate my whole life. I come from a family where my mother is a mortgage broker as well.
Okay.
My uncle is a real estate agent. My grandmother's a real estate agent. And those are pretty much the immediate people that raised me.
Wow, yeah, you have been around the space. Everybody's basically in real estate.
It's kind of all I knew for me. So, when it came time to finding a job or finding work, it had to be something in that field.
Yeah.
But residential real estate just, ultimately ended up not being for me.
Uh-huh.
I ended up learning that, the emotional game wasn't for me. And luckily somehow ended up stumbling into commercial real estate on accident.
And now you're just
now
where are you at now?
Yeah. Now we, thank God. I like to say everything is the way it's supposed to be. Whether people ask me how I'm doing or how are things going, my whatever it is, anything of that nature, my response is always, everything is as it should be. So right now we broker some of the largest off-market opportunities, primarily multifamily across maybe like 8 or 9 states in America. We source our own deals and take them to our own buyers. They tend to be larger deals, but we sell everything from, a couple $1,000,000 to our largest deal so far is like maybe 145 million. So
wow.
Yeah.
Impressive. Yeah. So I want to kind of dive deeper into that. We'll rewind it a little bit. We'll go to, I know you had a mentor. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know you started with a mentor.
Yeah.
And you were a junior agent at one point, right?
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's important to know that I tried everything I could to do residential real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
Talk about that.
When I came, so when I came back, right, when I almost finished high school, I went to go play basketball overseas. Okay. And then after 2 years of about 2 years of doing that, I ended up starting to party because my father lives there. And my family over there, they own a lot of nightclubs and things of that nature. So I started to party, and it got to a place where I called my mother and had to tell her, Mom, I need to come home.
My mom's here in LA.
My mom lives in LA. Yeah. And she said, no problem. If you're coming home, you're going to work for your uncle. So that was the start of my real estate journey.
Okay.
Other than doing after 17, 16 years old after school, trying to do loan mods and stuff like that back in 2000.
You were doing that in high school?
Yes, we were trying to make money any way possible
Man,
because my mother was doing
hustling, yeah.
mortgages and stuff. And my mom, she was a successful mortgage broker, and she had a thing with just giving us opportunities. Me and a couple friends, or my cousin is here, and his older brother and their friends. They were the ones that would cold call for loan mods and stuff like that to try to make some side money. So other than doing that, that was my only experience. So I started to work for my uncle and quit, went back, until it just got to a place after a few years later where I was just sad, depressed of what I was doing. I knew that it wasn't for me. And I quit. I made up a lie that I was going to go back to school, and I didn't work for about 9 months. Had a girlfriend at the time who basically started to support me. Now, we weren't living together or anything. I was maybe, 19, 20 years old at the time.
This is before basketball?
After. This is when I came back and started working for my uncle and quit. And went back and quit and went back and quit. I remember just feeling like an idiot. Just feeling not feeling any confidence, not feeling like a man whatsoever. Right. Just feeling emotionally drained and lost.
So you were just unemployed? What were you doing?
I was unemployed, and I was basically just leeching on my girlfriend. Your mom wasn't on your ass,
basically?
No,
because my mom would be
at this point. At this point, I was living with my grandmother. Okay, not for any reason. My mother raised me. I owe everything to her. We're best of friends. Just because that's what happened. I became a teenager, and I went to go live with my grandmother. My grandfather was getting sick. And I would literally leave in the morning and come back at night, so that just naturally that's what happened. But basically I told myself that's enough. And I took my resume and I started to send it to anything and everything that said real estate on Craigslist. I had no idea that somebody owns this office. One person or one group owns this office building that we sit in. Right. I was under the impression that just like condos, right? Everybody owns whatever they're in. I had no idea that one person owns an apartment building, and everybody pays this person rent. I just started sending my resume everywhere until I got a call from Marcus and Millichap and a call from a broker at Keller Williams. Well, first I got a call from Marcus and Millichap, and I went to the interview. Aced it, loved the environment. Started to realize what's going on here, right? Obviously, I had enough basic knowledge to realize, like, okay, this is commercial real estate. You obviously hear about it and stuff like that. Yeah. And I aced it. I was ready to take it. And on the way home, obviously they'll say, I'll call you back or whatever. But I was pretty sure I was going to land the job.
This is a sales job you're going for, though.
I'm going for a junior agent. I'm 20, 21 years old.
So basically a cold caller.
Yes. So basically, in the regular corporate commercial real estate world, right? Yeah. The Wolf of Wall Street world. You come in, right, fresh out of college or however old you are. You're tied to a desk, a cubicle, suit and tie every day. Your job is to cold call, set leads up for your senior, right? So he can get a listing, list it, get paid.
Right.
And continue.
And that's what you were interviewing for.
Correct.
Right.
I got a call on the way home that day from another individual, right? Keller Williams. Now, obviously a commercial broker at a residential-based brokerage, different story, right? More freedom. I wasn't going to take it. And my mother kind of nudged me and kind of gave me that look like, you need to at least go listen.
Right. Because hear what they have to say.
Exactly.
There might be something.
And that's something that sticks with me till this day, right? Because at least go listen. If somebody, doesn't matter who you are, whatever you're up to, if somebody's approaching you with an opportunity, no, especially in the business that we're in, when you're self-employed, regardless if you belong to a brokerage or whatever, at the end of the day, no one's going to do, if it's them in your position and their children and their family they're thinking about, they're going to do what's right for them. So you should at least go listen because you never know what you're going to hear. Right. So that's what I did. And I'm glad I did because I ended up taking a job with this individual. And I don't know if I'd be the same person if I didn't. No respect to my M&M guys and CBR. We got plenty of friends and plenty, like some of my biggest, call them idols in commercial real estate brokerage, like the MJs and the Kobe's that I look up to in this business come from those places. And when you go to that place, you come out a different broker, right? A soldier, but I like to do what I like to do. I like to make something out of nothing.
And you wanted the freedom of the Keller Williams to
and you can only do I didn't even know what I wanted at that time. But what I learned is there I have the freedom to do that because nobody's going to tell me what I can do, what I can't do. Nobody's going to say, hey, things are done this way. Yes, to an extent, my senior is going to say, this is what you do. This is what you say. This is where you call. But it's not as embedded in general, because let's be realistic. Commercial real estate is like an Illuminati, right? You go to college, you come out, your parents are investors or old brokers. They stick you in there. That's what you're going to do, right? And then when you're done being a broker, you go help your parents own or manage whatever properties they own. And I'm totally different. I'm just a street hustler who had an opportunity to sling buildings. And
Hell yeah.
you know, so I'm glad I went that way because it allowed, and I get to keep a lot more money. But it also more so, split, more so though, the freedom to do what I want to do. So that plays a huge part in what we do.
So it sounds like you're a little more entrepreneurial based.
100%.
Want a little bit more freedom. But talk a little bit about that mentor. How did that mentor guide you and put you in place to become that number one guy in the company eventually? Could kind of maybe take his, I don't know if he was the number one guy, but.
No, for sure.
What did he do to mentor you?
Yeah.
Or what did he teach you?
Absolutely. So it wasn't the individual that gave me my first shot. Okay. Although the individual that gave me my first shot, me and him own 2 buildings together today. So it's funny how life comes around full circle. But the person who gave me my first shot was not the person who embedded the off-market approach in me. There was an individual that used to work for my uncle when I was younger. Also had a chip on his shoulder. Has been through a ton of things in his life. Another individual that, you know, the definition of not supposed to be here, right? You know, somebody who didn't graduate high school, didn't go to college, nothing.
It's a hustler like you, basically.
Just a hustler. And he basically did a lot of things, right? When he was working for my uncle, he was cold calling for residential listings. By the time he was 18, he was one of the 18, 19, right? Just got his license. He was already one of the top brokers at Rodeo Realty, which was Paramount Properties at the time. And he ended up somehow finding his way into commercial real estate. Okay. He started doing off-market deals. So one day, because what we didn't get into is, even when I got into commercial real estate, I quit and I went back to work for my uncle. And then I quit my uncle again and I went back to commercial real estate.
Your uncle was doing what?
Was doing the residential real estate, right? This is where I started. But things weren't going for me. And see, I always had a fear. You couldn't get a listing, or you couldn't get a buy. Why did you quit there? I never gave it, at that time, things weren't serious for me and I didn't give anything my full potential.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, I was interested in looking at the clock, waiting for 5 o'clock, smoking tree, you know, waiting for 5 to hit so I can go with my friends and hanging out, right? And I didn't understand the importance of, hey, you're here, do it, right? Until it just clicked. Hey, you're already here.
That mentality is hard, though. So it does take time. It takes maturation, basically.
I'm a big believer that everybody wakes up when they're supposed to. That's why I used to be the number one person that would be like, hey, why isn't this person like this? Or, you know, some people you care about, you try to, you know, come on, man, wake up. But you realize that, hey, everybody wakes up when they're supposed to. And some people just don't wake up. And that's okay. Because you can, it's not for you to control. You know, so things weren't clicking for me. And I just had a fear of cold calling, a fear of everything. And until one day, he just saw me sad walking around the office. And he's like, hey, you should be working for me. Right? I know that you have whatever in commercial real estate, whatever experience, you should be working with me. I need an assistant right now. So he was giving me about $500 a week to do his assistant work. But the amazing thing was he was not a boss by nature. He was just getting into leading somebody because, again, he's just a street hustler. And that's one of the biggest challenges about people. And it's funny, right? Because in most industries, the people who make it biggest are people that are not supposed to be there, right? So, but it doesn't mean, you know, they're hustlers. They're not leaders. So managing people does not, you know, it comes at a cost. You have to go hire somebody who does that. So I had a lot of free time on my hands. So I started to call for deals, and my second day, I popped a deal. I found a lead, and I remember speaking to an owner a long time ago, and he ended up buying the building. And from then on, we just started going one by one.
Let's talk about that building a little bit.
So that building was a smaller building. It was 16 units in Silver Lake. That was my first commercial deal in Silver Lake, California. I remember speaking to a gentleman many times in the past who told me that he would buy something like that. And it just clicked, and I ended up looking up his number, and I called him and I sold him the building. And then later I ended up selling him the building next door. But that was my first deal. That was my first taste of commission, which was about $18,000. Now I had a split with my mentor, right? That was obviously favorable to him, but it didn't matter because I was soaking up all the knowledge, and I knew that he was onto something, because as the years passed, year 1, year 2, year 3, we started to do a $10 million deal here, $15 million deal there, an $18 million deal here. But it was his approach that was intriguing to me, because his approach was just calling, being direct, right? Hey, I'm not looking for a listing. I'm not calling to waste anyone's time. Like, all we care about is there a price that would get you to sell? And if not, like, is there any sort of window of opportunity? Like, and even if you tell me no, and I have a gut feeling, right, that something is there, I can get a buyer to write an offer to do anything.
So you never give up, basically.
Yeah,
just constantly
it's not even that never give up. It's just, yes, never give up in a sense where I definitely turn. I'm looking under everything all the time. I'd rather look under everything and make sure there's
a price to everything as
there.
well. So you can't. So that's what I would tell somebody. You can't say no. I mean, there's always a price.
Yes. So you're getting somewhere, right? Because even if it's ridiculous, I want to know what it is. Now,
right.
I can't do anything with that, but I know that there's a price, right? So we feed off that, and we've built a lane to where these groups, right? Not just institutions, all day they're bidding on the market, right? So we'll do the dirty work for you. We'll find the deals for you. Mm-hmm. So this mentor, that's what he would do, but he did it on, we were doing it on a level of like 30 million and down, until one day we ended up popping like a $59 million deal in Burbank, California. So his approach was simply that, hey, I'm a matchmaker. If I can find something, I can find a buyer myself. There is no need to list a property. There is no need to, I'm really just shortening the time between everything. Like, people think listing a property makes the most noise. Absolutely. But go try doing a $50 million deal off market when nobody knows about it, and then it closes under everybody's belt, and you think you're the only person that was working on it. Your phone, how many times your phone is going to ring with institutions asking you, who the hell are you and how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
How do we get you to bring us deals, Andrew? Yeah. Like, so that's what he believed. And I just one day realized he had something there. And you know what they say, right? Great artists steal. And that's what you do. You take what you learn, you add your own flavor, and you continue.
It's the biggest form of flattery, basically.
So I just thought to myself, how do I take this and make it bigger? Mm-hmm. And ran with it.
That's not. Now, do you think that was important, kind of getting into that niche? Not get that niche specifically, but I mean, because a lot of real estate agents, they kind of like, I'll call a realtor and they'll be like, yeah, I do everything. I do commercial, I do residential, I do leases, obviously to me, they sound a little bit desperate, but do you think it was important for you to get into a specific niche in order to be successful?
I'm a big believer in doing one thing and doing it well.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Huge believer in doing one thing and doing it well. I don't know too many people that do
everything,
too many things successfully.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I know some residential agents that but it's different, right? They're selling like maybe 2-3 units, 4-unit buildings along with their
stuff. They're trying to sell a liquor store, and then they're trying to do a commercial lease.
Yeah,
and they're trying
you see, so like.
But they're not the top guys. These are middle of the pack kind of
correct.
people.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm thinking, if you're gonna do something, like, dude, build a lane and be the best at it, right? Whatever it is, you can figure out something to do in that lane that someone else doesn't do. We're for Christ's sakes, it's 2024. Right. You know what I mean? How many people do real estate?
Yeah,
the whole world. Moms, so the only thing that's going to make you successful is what differentiates you from somebody else, right?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, right.
Guys in my industry are doing the same thing. They're trying to do everything. They're trying to do commercial lending. They're trying to do, and then they're trying to do everything in the loan process as well. And then they don't know how to delegate. So, no, I appreciate.
Yeah,
your
if you're
thoughts
going
as
to
well.
if you're going to, for example, okay,
Yeah.
if you're going to sell homes, all right, what kind of homes are you going to sell?
Right.
You're going to sell everything, or you're going to sell luxury homes? Okay, you're going to sell luxury homes. What are you going to do? You're going to build relationships with developers and right to sell luxury homes. So that's a niche. Okay,
High-end
sick.
buyers,
Do that.
all
Okay,
yeah.
be the best. Be the Dennis Chernoff of real estate or whatever.
Right.
Okay, you're going to do commercial real estate. Are you going to sell retail, or are you going to sell office, or are you going to sell multifamily? Okay, or are you going to sell nothing? Are you going to do leases? Are you right? So pick something and chop away at that. That's how you build something. That's how you build a business. You can't. Yes, you see. The beautiful thing about it though is my style of business is less about the product and more about what we do that allows us to sell anything. Because I'm just a matchmaker. My first office building, I didn't know shit about office buildings. It just fell in my lap. But I knew that if I have 100,000 square foot office building in Santa Ana, guess how I find a buyer? I'm going to look up who else owns 100,000 square foot office buildings in Santa Ana. Yeah. And then from there, I'm going to see which one of these guys are more credible or active than the rest.
They might even be able to refer you to their buddy, and they know somebody and all that stuff.
Yeah, but on that level though, nobody's going to be referring you because you're calling bigger groups, right? Okay. But my point more so being is you can sell anything. You'll learn about it through the process of trying to find a buyer, taking it to a group. That's where you'll learn about the process. But in reality, you can sell anything. All you need to be able to do is get financials or some sort of pricing guidance or anything out of that person, out of that potential seller, and dress it up and take it to any buyer.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you can sell anything. But yes, traditionally, if you're going to be okay, and to get to that place though, right? It's important that I know to get to this place, you have to start at one thing and do one thing well that will open the doors for other things. So let's not get it twisted, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on the terms of staying in your lane. So we're kind of, we're preaching to the same choir on that one. But I know now you also have you've built this company and you have a team. Talk a little bit about, the Cohen. What's the name of the company? The Cohen Company. Mm-hmm. So it's the Cohen Company. Talk a little bit about how you started that, how you scaled your team, and kind of where you guys are at today in terms of team structure and all that.
Yeah. So the team thing has always been a tough thing for me because I've always been a lone soldier, right? I also, just not coming from the world of just the corporate grind and also, being raised by individuals like, hey, you shut your mouth, you do your work. And I used to look at people who do things like this or, do the social media stuff as like, what are you doing, bro? You look cheesy, close your mouth and do your work, right? No matter how many deals you sold, you don't talk about it or whatever it is. But it wasn't until I started to do these things that you realize that it's bigger than you, and it's bigger than it's bigger than you, and you inspire all these people. So just a trust thing
giving
too.
People jobs. I mean, that's what I enjoy. I want to see somebody else be successful.
Yes. So that's something that you learn. You learn later, right? You learn as you start to give people opportunities that's what it's about, right? Because if I teach you to do what I do or give you an opportunity to do what I do, and you go make $100, $200, $300, $400, $500,000 check at one time just by something I taught you, that whatever I taught you and whatever you go do is going to bring me 500 times the karma that whatever money you made, whether it's 500,000 or $10 million will ever bring.
Yeah.
Right. So these days, that's how I look at life. And so with the team thing, it's like, I've had the 10 people, right? The 10 callers, the 20 callers, and I've had the just myself. What I realize works well for us is no more than 4 people, right? Myself,
small group,
myself, an assistant, and a right hand, and maybe 2 junior agents. That's it. Because essentially, what happens when you're here's the thing, right? I cold call and I cold email and I look for deals. Just we all do. We all look for deals at the same time,
Yeah, like
right?
you said.
From
You're still doing the grunt work, basically.
from 9 to 6. You know, I'm in workout clothes, or I'm looking like this when it's time for a meeting, or I got to go meet somebody. You know, suit goes on. Shout out to Elevy. Suit goes on. Go out. The moment I come back in, suit comes off, and it's back to cold calling. All of us, you know. So what happens when you're in that environment and you have too many people is you realize that maybe only one or two produce here and there, right? Yeah. And then you end up carrying everybody on your shoulders because you're a good dude. You're not an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna Also, I'm not some corporate dude. Like, I want us all to win. Like, it's okay, bro. Let's do it, right? I'm not starving here, thank God. So let's keep going. You know, but then it just gets to a place where, wait a minute. I'm giving you a whole area, a whole state sometimes to try to find leads in. I'd rather call that myself, right? If you're not finding any deals, obviously I'm better. I'm going to find some deals. So I'd rather call it myself if you're not. So I realize that it's good to just have a small, it depends on what you do, right? Because like if you're doing residential real estate, if I was doing residential real estate, I'd have 100 callers calling expired leads, being the first ones at 7 a.m, calling your phone before anybody else gets there.
It's because you have to do so many deals.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's different. In the world, just the higher you climb in commercial real estate, like deal size and groups and people you're dealing with, the smaller it gets. So, I can't be having 20 people calling people and so we the number one thing that differentiates us from other commercial brokers is obviously our relationships, but we're extremely calculated and extremely research driven. Everything is step by step, regardless of what. If I find like I said, if I find
who you're contacting, why you're contacting them,
everything from start to who I'm contacting. Okay, I find a deal. Okay, is this deal worth it? Okay, yeah, you know what? It's on planet Earth. Okay, let me see why it's worth it. Okay, now I think it's worth it. Okay, let me see who the players are here. All right, out of these players, which ones are more credible? Which ones are more active than the other? Okay, let me see which ones I take it to first. Okay, this is why I'm going to take it to them first, right? I find a deal in Santa Ana that's a 100-unit, apartment building. Granted, probably today I can think of 20 people to call off the top of my head. I know Andrew owns 100 deals out here that are 100 units. Yeah. I don't just pick up the phone and call you. I do my research. We move step by step because there might just be somebody that I don't have a relationship with that is worth building one, because for whatever reason, I feel they're just this much of a better buyer for this deal, because the window of opportunity is this small and you only got one shot. So I want to make sure whoever I bring to the table gives me the best opportunity to get that done. So we're extremely calculated.
Yeah, and about the agents that are, because the agents that were under you or used to be under you, the junior agents, what makes them successful or not successful, in your business? Because I know a lot of people want to get into the space. Look, they see the checks, man. They see, the size of the deals that are kind of going on in the commercial space. So can you describe kind of what would make a junior agent or even a senior agent successful, and kind of what makes people not successful in this business?
Yeah, the beautiful thing about it is I feel like there is no secret, right? Like, everybody wants a secret. There is no secret. You want to be a good commercial broker, become the best cold caller that you can be. Like, problem is people don't want to hear that, right? Because it sounds so simple. Yeah, people don't want to cold call, but literally, there is no secret. If you cold call every single day from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, okay? It doesn't even have to be 9 to 5. You just have to leave the day saying, you know what, I put in work today. Like, if you can truly tell yourself that for 2-3 years, dude, that's it.
What do you think about VAs? Because a lot of people, like in the residential space, they're getting away from that, because I know that's,
So VAs for what are we talking about? For making cold calls for yourself?
Because that's what people are getting
100%.
Lazy. Yeah.
Hell no.
And why?
It's funny that you asked this question, because one of my comments on I had commented on a post on Instagram, and it's like one of those ones that till this day just keeps getting likes, because it's like one of the top comments there. Yeah. And it was a gentleman talking about VAs with another woman about how she should use VAs as for cold calling, and I commented on there that, number one, you should do your own cold calling. Period. If you expect anybody unless they're sitting right in front of you or outside the office or like your team that where you can see or they can knock on the door and walk a deal into you and be like, hey, Andrew, what do you think? Okay.
How do we do this deal?
Yeah. If you expect any virtual assistant to make cold calls with a passion, with to push past no, to try to maneuver through every rebuttal and everything, trying to really, really, really do everything they can to see if there's a deal there when they're making whatever many cents a call or you know, and you expect them to really give it their all, you're crazy, right? It's either you do the cold calling or somebody needs to go do the cold calling that you taught. It doesn't matter if they're fresh. I don't hire off resumes. I hire, it could be the waiter, it could be the person at the drive-through, it could be anybody, right? The bank teller, the pizza man.
Right.
You can tell me, hey, David, I know somebody, or my friend is moving for you and he's a commercial or whatever, and I think it would be good for you guys to meet. And I may meet him, and it could be anybody, and I may just think to myself in conversation with this person, I need to give this guy a shot or this girl a shot. Or something about this person will be good here.
It's a gut feeling.
That's how I move, always. And sometimes it fails you and sometimes it doesn't. But more times, you know, than not, it's pointing me in the right direction. So you know, it's you know, that's kind of how we move, you know, especially in the beginning, like so right now I have two, right? And you know, we just focus on going. You know, what keeps us going.
You have two juniors?
Yes. And what keeps us going is the understanding of all the other times that things weren't going. And then you just pick up a phone or send an email and somebody just shoots out a price and there you go.
There it is.
It's back to it. It can be nothing. All it takes is for me to reach out and find something to work on. And then there you go. The game has started. So as long as you look, you're going to find things to work on.
Nice. Now, in terms of your focus, in terms of territory, I know we were just talking about LA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But where are you guys focused on a particular area, or you just kind of, or do you have a client and they have a certain buy box and you're kind of going after that product?
Absolutely. So when it comes to our buyers, right?
Yeah.
First of all, when it comes to our territories and where we look for deals, we look for deals in areas that our specific buyers look for deals in. Okay.
So buyers first, and then,
correct, because we believe more in targeted cold calling rather than just, you know, spreading out and just calling. Yes. Now, it is not. At the end of the day, it's not targeted cold calling in a sense where I'm just calling for a specific buyer, because regardless, I'm going to meet new buyers and I'm going to meet new, right?
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation regardless. Okay. So, but the way we pick an area is a lot of times based off of what situations our buyers in, who's in an exchange, who's not, who, you know, what's hot now, and then trickle our way down to where we want to do deals with who. So these days we're in California, Nevada, Arizona, some parts of Colorado, the Pacific Northwest, primarily like Portland and Seattle. We're in New Mexico, Greater Virginia, some parts of DC, and these days we're tapping into like Maryland and Southern Carolina and stuff like that. So.
Wow. All over you're all over the nation. Basically.
Yeah, and the way, and it just happens naturally. You know, think about it.
Yeah.
If I'm calling 100+ unit deals in California, and you know, I'm doing deals and people are seeing these deals, obviously people are coming to us and saying like, hey, do you guys ever come across deals, you know, in this state or that state? And that's the sexiest thing for me. When a big, it doesn't even have to be big, right? What's a whale? Right. The problem is, the problem is, right. Me and most consider whales different. A mom and pop can be a whale, right? A private owner can be a whale too. We pride ourselves in doing deals with the most active and sophisticated buyers on the 3 levels: the mom and pop level, the private level, and the institutional level. So I'll sell $1 million deal all day. But if I'm bringing $1 million deal to somebody, it's going to be someone who consistently buys $1 million deals. Right? Because again, I know that an off-market opportunity is the window of opportunity is so small that anybody I bring, I want to make sure gives me the best chance. Going back to the research, right? Somebody comes and approaches. Imagine how many people approach me, especially agents, right? Hey, David, I have a buyer. Do you have a deal for me? I have a buyer. Okay, who's your buyer? Give me their name. What do they own? If I can't pull them up on CoStar, not even worth my time. Now, okay, I can pull them up on CoStar. That's step one. Let me see how much they own, how often they buy. Like, that's how we move, because, you know, it trickles down from the big stuff, because it's so hard, right? And we have to be so calculated that we end up just moving like that across the board. So our territories, right? They'll give, hey, we look for these type of deals, 100 plus units or 250 units or larger in these states this year, built this vintage.
Yeah, exactly.
No problem. I'll go get it
I
for
want
you.
1970, 80 units plus, no roof issues.
If I look you up, it doesn't even get to no roof issues. It just gets to vintage, size, and location. Mm-hmm. If I look you up and I see that you own properties and you're buying, no problem, dude. I'll go do that work for you. Yeah. And as I was saying, the sexiest thing for me is when a group of credibility comes and tells me, hey, David, do you ever find deals in Montana? No, but I can, because I know that if I go to a location where I've never looked for deals, my first time and second time or third time through there, I'm going to find some deals. So I love it.
Yeah.
And then naturally, right, you end up loving it even more, because see here's where the untrained eye doesn't think the way that I think, right? Mm-hmm. It's a win-win for me regardless, because I'm going to go to Montana with this group in mind. I need to find a 100 plus unit deal for this group in Montana.
Yeah.
But if chances are, even if I find exactly what they asked me for, it's not going to be for them. At least not the first one or the second one. What am I going to do with that deal?
You having a bunch of other buyers out there.
I'm going to go do my research in Montana. I'm going to go find out who the biggest players are there. Right? Who do I need to know? I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to tell them, hey, my name is David Cohen, right? I specialize in brokering off-market opportunities nation. I would never tell them I've done, because I know that they're going to go look and they're going to be like, what the hell? So I tell them what I do. Hey, I want to bring you deals. What do you look for? And next thing you know, never doing one deal in Montana, I now have relationships with the biggest and baddest people there. And I just now I'm sitting in a chair with all the biggest, baddest brokers in Montana, even though I've never done a deal, because I got access to everybody.
That's cold calling. That's just hustling.
It's just taking a chance. It's just common sense, understanding that if I was to start all over today with nothing, and I needed to sell $100 million building the quickest way possible, I wouldn't even call any sellers. I would literally do my research on who are the biggest, baddest mofos that buy $100 million buildings. And I would call each one of them up, find out their acquisitions guy, whoever handles deals, call them, find out what they look for. And then I wouldn't even start looking for a deal until I talked to like 20 of these people. Yes. Right? 20 of the biggest groups. And then next thing you know, guess what? All I have to do is go find it. Now when I'm cold calling, it's a whole different story. Yeah. Like I'm calling with confidence. I'm calling with integrity. I'm calling with, at the moment I get something like, who's your buyer? Oh, I don't have to name drop, but I can say they're this and this and they own this much and it's going to be beefy. And when I come and drop that offer in front of that person or that LOI or whatever, and they see in the beginning, you got to understand that things don't become very real until you live, blah, like. And then they're
until they get that email,
and then that call of you asking how much they would sell for or whatever, and this is probably chances are whatever 50 million, they're not thinking that you're going to bring something. Then everything becomes real super fast.
Yeah.
So anybody can sell anything. It's all about just how you word things and how good of a salesman are you? How good can you put together a story? Yeah. I can make anybody believe that I was in any state yesterday outside of their property. I just came back today. While I was there yesterday, we're at inspections. My client saw that property, said, write down that fucking address, David, see if he'd sell. I put it in my pocket. I got to LA today. I did the research. I came across this number, and I'm calling you. Now, I know it's this owner's number, but I'm going to pretend like I don't know. Like, hey, I don't know if this is the owner. I did research on this property. I was yesterday. It's that blue building. Mind you, I have a picture of it right on my CoStar.
Yeah.
That's all. At the end of the day, what are we? Salesmen. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow, that's a little crazy. Thanks for that information, my boy. Now, we were talking about territories and things like that. Well, the territory that we're in, man, we talked about it a little bit. LA. What's up with LA? A lot of people are, there's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people talking this and that about LA. Talk about the commercial space in LA. What's going on? I mean, you've been in the business, 12 now, 13, 14 years?
Yeah, approximately a little more. Yeah.
What's changing the commercial space the multifamily space specifically in, I guess, LA City, LA County, and, kind of the general.
For sure. So definitely like tenant laws, right? I mean,
right.
I think that's the number one. Like LA
the squatters, COVID, things went nuts during COVID.
Everything went nuts. And the problem is like, I don't see it going backwards, at least not anytime soon. And unfortunately, we live in a city that is, worse, or I live in a city that is heavily, regulated and in favor of tenants. Now, here's the thing. I come from both worlds, right? I've rented, and have friends that rent. Like, again, I didn't come from, some world where everybody grew up in mansions and things of that nature. So,
right.
I have friends tenants who call me for advice on how to battle, their landlord trying to kick them out or whatever. And obviously I help both, right? The same way landlords call me and ask me for help. But it's gotten to a point where I don't even look for deals in LA right now. I don't look for deals in LA County in general, because even when I find some or I come across deals and I take it to buyers, regardless of size, it's too hard to make them pencil with everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I just get a hard no right away. Like, hey, we're not buying in LA. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Not just what's going on in for investors, just in a general Los Angeles and California in a general,
politics,
politics, we spoke a little bit about the person who gave me a shot, my first shot in commercial real estate.
Yeah.
Amazing individual, right? Mm-hmm. Grew up with nothing in I want to say Boyle Heights, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe Boyle Heights, right? Came from nothing, became a broker, right? And he's an absolute legend in Koreatown. Okay,
this is the mentor that you had.
The first person that gave me a job in commercial real estate, gentleman by the name of Henry Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Shout out
who's
Henry.
a big part of my life today as well. Still a mentor of mine. But one of the biggest, baddest brokers in LA, legend in Koreatown as a broker, super savvy investor, owns a number of multifamily properties, also owns a property management company. So he's extremely savvy when it comes to, not just
the tenant laws,
everything. He up and moved his whole family to Austin, Texas, right? This individual has lived here for 50 years.
Yeah.
And has up and moved his whole family to Austin and is extremely happy. Winning the lottery couldn't make him any happier. And he loves it. So, me too. I almost up and left in February of 2021. We ended up getting stuck in that winter storm that was there.
Dallas, right?
No, in Austin.
Oh, okay.
But
my buddies were in Dallas though at the time.
Oh, it was all over there. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. But yeah, because of that, and my children's mother didn't want to live there.
You were in Texas at the time? Oh, okay.
Yes, I was in. We went to go visit to live there.
And then like, hell no.
Yeah, it was bad.
I didn't know Austin gets cold like that, but yeah.
No, it doesn't. It was the first time in 30 years that there was this winter storm.
Yeah.
Like everything, like apartments falling apart, draining, cars stuck. It was one of those like.
So even you were thinking
news.
about moving, because I mean the homeless issue, the housing issue,
it was. Shout out to Austin, Texas. I've been many cities, states. Right? Mm-hmm. Austin, Texas, one of the best places I've ever been in my life. Like I would live there 10 out of 10 times. Just people.
So is business keeping you here?
No, no. What's keeping me here is my children and what I've built for myself. Business. Yeah. I can do what I do anywhere because all I need is a phone and some data. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing more. Right. If I wanted to work in my bed every day, I could.
So you're on the same page as me. Anyway, we just talked about LA. LA's it's changing, man. It's changing. I mean, obviously the gentrification, and I'm working with a lot of buyers that are, I was just telling you before we got on this podcast, it's really tough to afford LA. Like, and I'm in the residential space, but now, I know you're the same thing. It's hard to put these tenants in these homes.
I mean, when you really think about it, right? Like I think about my children, like How
Yeah.
will my daughters ever be, if I don't like make it happen? How are they ever going to be able to afford a house? You know, like it's the where and then
You gotta
rents are
leave
just
something
going
for them. I don't know.
That's the only way, right? You if you don't do it at the rate that things are headed,
Yeah.
it's going to be a problem. You know,
Yeah.
God willing, yeah, they're extremely successful and everything, but you know, we're not going to leave that up to chance, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that rents just go up and up and up, and it's a crapshoot, man. Los Angeles is not the
Well, they keep building affordable housing, so.
Yeah, but they can't build fast enough, right?
Yeah.
So that's also a problem.
Yeah.
And
But affordable
homeless
housing
people
brings a certain type of tenant that
There you
already
go.
kind of ruins the area
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
These people are just, unfortunately, in LA, they live off the government and they just siphon all the money off the government. And then, actually, even outside here, outside our office, there's an affordable housing building. It's a nice, brand new,
Yeah, they're all beautiful.
2021. Like, you know, there's nice apartment complexes, and dudes are just outside chilling, smoking. These are like middle-aged, late-aged dudes just hanging out. You guys don't have jobs? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's. I mean, why would you need a job, right? When you just have to pay like a couple hundred bucks, right? And no disrespect, but yes,
No, makes you lazy. Makes you lazy as hell.
I mean, you know, yeah, Los Angeles is something else these days. But,
Yeah,
you know,
look,
I don't even look for deals. I don't even
know.
look for deals there anymore, to be honest.
I mean, I do love it, man. I've been here my whole life. Obviously, I'm in Orange County now, but same thing. We've been around, you know, it's the same area essentially. If you guys aren't from the area, they're right next to each other. But I always tell, some guy was telling me yesterday, I have a client in LA. He wants to see me. He's like, do you ever come around these parts? I was like, dude, I avoid LA at all costs. I hate going out there. I might go out and visit him, so that's another subject. But you are, you just talked about buying real estate. So are you also not buying in LA as a buyer, or where are you buying?
Well, so the two properties we have the two properties I have are in LA, but I bought them quite some time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
When things weren't as crazy, I feel like
no, and also it was at a time where I wasn't anything near a savvy investor, so I was just, in my mind, I was just trying to pay to play, you know, and luckily it worked out.
Yeah.
But yes, a smart agents take their commission and buy real estate with it. I mean, you're already in the business. Who's gonna know, you know, who's gonna know a deal better than you? And for me, it gets even sweeter because we're first to deals. That's what we do. We find deals.
Right.
So if we choose to buy something, or if I, you know, all day long, you know, my job or my career is combating, you know, large owners in competitive markets to sell their properties. Imagine when I sell a deal and I make whatever X of money, and then I'm like, okay, I want to go buy 10 units or 20 units in Wisconsin, or I think those owners.
You don't ever get in on one of these deals ever?
On the bigger ones?
Or even the bigger ones, smaller ones? Like if somebody's,
No, absolutely.
Somebody's like, hey, I need
it
X
all
amount of
depends.
dollars,
It all
or-
depends on who you're doing deals
Like, hey,
with.
David,
right?
hop in and give you 20%, 30%.
It all depends on who you're doing deals with. But the deals that I like to do and like to put together, I take them to groups that, you know, nobody's gonna go in with them. They're
They're good. They have the money. They're like,
Well, yeah, it's not just that they have the money. Like, you know, that's what they do. Like you take it to a
I get
group,
it.
they own the property. Like
Yeah.
I'm just the broker, right? But obviously that happens. Yeah, the good thing is that I'm first to deal, so I could choose what I want to do with it.
Yeah.
I could choose whatever I want to do with it. And then even when it's time to start cold calling for myself for deals, obviously I'm not buying 100-unit properties, buying smaller properties. So I'm dealing with mom and pop tenants. They don't stand a chance against me on the phone, especially not only when I'm dealing with more sophisticated people, but now I'm cold calling for myself. Like, it's, you know,
so you know exactly what you
it's
want.
a whole different story.
What do you prefer in terms of your clients? What do you prefer working? You were just talking about mom and pops. Do you prefer working with that type, or do you prefer the bigger guys? Or?
I prefer working with the bigger guys. Because for obviously many reasons.
The paperwork's in order.
the paperwork's in order. A lot of the paperwork I don't do.
Yeah.
Right. Almost like
And they've done it before,
almost
and things
any
like that,
paperwork other than whatever's in my physical office that needs to close the file in my physical office, I don't do any paperwork. My job is to just put a deal together, find a seller, find a deal, find a buyer, and bring that to escrow. And then once God willing gets into escrow, right, then I'm just the middleman handling everything in between. But when it comes to paperwork, contracts, purchase agreements, they do it all. Attorneys do it all, and they do it all.
Yeah.
So on that level, not only do I like doing those deals best because of the size of them and making that out of nothing, but more so the people that I'm dealing with make it easier, make life easier.
Well, I'm in the lending space. It just kind of came to mind because I'm not really familiar. I don't do these large deals. What are they doing with lending in terms of like, I mean, how much money are they putting down? What are the big players in that space that you see? These other big players, are they margining off stocks maybe to buy these? What are they doing?
Yeah, no. So basically, like obviously everybody goes and gets financing, right?
Yeah.
It's all
Mostly.
even all cash, right? Is still
it's
they
margined off something.
Yeah, so they go do whatever they do, but they have relationships with whatever the gray star or the gray stones and whatever large commercial funds that lend them money. So it's funny because as I have a lot of mortgage broker friends, right? And you can imagine how many people are like, hey, can you like, dude, and I would love to make extra money. Why not? But it's something that I don't get involved in because I know that number one, the way that
these big guys, they don't lend off of, they have their own relationships.
Yeah,
first of all.
That too. But just in general, like just the way that I was raised, like I'd be afraid to recommend a lender, and then the lender messes up, and then it's on you, and obviously we've all been down that path. So, but just like everybody else, they seek traditional financing from whatever financing they get from whatever relationships, and chances are they hold that with one or two.
But they're not buying them all cash, like you said.
No.
These aren't like all cash purchases.
No, they're not like straight cash purchases. I'm sure they go. So here's how it works, right? Most REITs or bigger groups, they get money or funds from these CalPERS or the
pension funds.
Huge pension funds and stuff will give these companies X amount of dollars to spend on their behalf every couple years, and they go buy real estate with it. So that bucket is already there, right? And that's why I like bringing them deals, because it's not somebody that has to go raise money or yes, there's a board and people have to approve the deal or whatever. But my relationship is with it's with obviously a couple people, but my main source of contact is one person. So my goal is to become best friends with that person. And it's crazy how I look back and I think about all the people that now, like, I talk to them as if we've been best friends for 20 years, but it started off as just phone conversations, sending deals. And now I can get anything done, right, with them. Or I can call them with an idea, even when I have nothing and they're willing to do it,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. I didn't know, because that space is like so new to me. That like giant jumbo, $100 million deal type of space is so new to me.
So like even one of the larger deals I did, like
the what about the 130 in San Jose?
So like that, for example, right? There was that deal. The owner had just recently like refinanced it, took out he put like debt on it, like $70 million like a couple of months before.
Okay.
So I had to find someone that was willing to assume
was that guy an owner? He was
an owner.
A company or
no, he was an owner.
A single guy.
A single guy, yeah.
Owned a property.
Well, him and his partners, but yes.
But
he built it.
Yeah.
He built it. Yeah.
From the ground. Okay.
Well, the developer built it, but he had the property built.
Yeah. Wow. No, you were gonna finish that. He did what?
I had to find somebody to assume $70 million in debt. As well as give this guy a price that he was comfortable with, as well as cover my commission.
And why couldn't somebody just get another loan? Is it the prepayment penalty on it, or what?
I'm sure that was the case, because he just refied it, like just pulled out money.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm sure there was huge prepayment penalty.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
So I really
Yeah, they get complicated. These deals get kind of way more complicated.
To keep it real with you, I don't even get into asking about. Just
you're not worried about it.
Yeah.
I get it. I like how you stay in your own lane, man.
Exactly.
There's people that
I also like to know
that don't know how to do that. So
I also like yes, we underwrite deals and everything. And you ask me, I'm going to tell you what a deal looks like for me. But I also like to know that you as a buyer, when you come to a place of, hey, I'm going to buy this deal, that you came up with that yourself. That I'm yes, I'm doing my duty as a broker, but I need to know that you've underwritten this and your team is underwritten and you've came to this and your finance, whatever's in place, and you're comfortable at this number. Yeah. That's what makes me comfortable as a broker.
These bigger deals, how fast are they occurring? Like, you do a cold call. What's a quick time, and then what's, I guess, the longest time it's taken you to get a deal?
Yeah.
What's quick? So if I wanted to go, David, I want to be on your team, man. I want to do cold calls, like because there's a ramp up period. Even in our business, I tell people, you're going to need 3-4 months of savings kind of saved up, of reserves, before you kind of hop in this business, because you work in an all commission business, right? Okay. So how long does it take to kind of get a deal for somebody? Let's just say this guy's, he's all in, dropped everything. I'm all in, man. I'll give you everything. How long would it take me to get a deal? That's a tough question, and it's really like, but how fast have you seen it happen? I should say.
Yeah. So there's no telling whatsoever.
Right.
I've seen it happen right away, and I've seen it take years, and I've seen it not happen at all. Yeah. It took me 3 years, 4 years to do one deal, of quitting and going back and forth, and 3 years, right?
3 years.
Quitting, going back and forth.
But you were making like a little salary, you said at the time. Yeah. You're like getting a junior little.
Yeah, exactly.
To pay your gas.
I also wasn't all in, right? Like let's be realistic. I wasn't all in.
Yeah. You were still.
So here's the thing. There's individuals that find deals right away. There's individuals that take years. There's individuals that take months. That
There's no telling.
There's no telling. The thing
is,
you can find a deal like that. In 1 second, everything could change, right? So even when there's weeks or months of not doing a deal, right? You never lose sight of what can happen, because in 1 second, things could change, right? And then when you start to actually do deals, right, and you start to do larger deals, then those times just become easier and easier and easier, because no matter what, right? I'm big whale hunting, right? So no matter, I'm gonna have down times. Success looks like this, right? Like it doesn't look like this, right? So
I wish it did.
Yeah, me too. So I'm gonna have down times. There's gonna be months I'm not doing deals, right? But we never stop looking, because you'll just think about, like, dude, remember when I was sitting here like depressed, and then I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna make a phone call. I'll just keep calling, and then you pop a deal.
Your life is
or you remember when it's 6 p.m. and it's raining outside, and I'm just chilling in my office and everybody's at home, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna call this building, and this Asian guy tells me, no, I'm not gonna sell, and I had to tell him, yeah, you know what? What if I found somebody to pay you, a price that you're happy with, and cover my commission, and assume the $70 million in debt? Would you sell? And then he told me, no, probably not. And then he calls me back a few weeks later, like,
sometimes it takes a while to think about.
It could happen in so many ways. Like the $132 million deal happened in a week. Then my most recent deal is like $40 million happened in, it looked like it was going to happen, then stopped, then didn't happen for a year. And then all of a sudden it came out of nowhere, literally like just got an email, me and a bunch of other people that were interested. This is off market. Hey, here's a rent roll. Here's financials. Offers are due tomorrow. We're sending this to a list of, closed people. Like, you never know. All you got to do is keep looking. I promise, if you keep looking and keep calling and just keep going, you will at least do enough
to get some kind of opportunity.
To be more than dude, you're going to make 6 figures for sure.
Yeah. It doesn't take that.
For sure.
Yeah. It doesn't take that much to make 6 figures.
You literally, especially if you're just cold call. If you have the data, right, sit and cold call all day long. You'll meet, and if you don't stop at no, you'll meet buyers, and, but you have to ask people, right? You have to say, okay, you're not selling. Are you buying? Yes, I'm buying. What do you look for? Now, don't go look for deals for everybody, right? This person just told you, yes, they buy and what they look for. Go do your research.
Yeah.
See if they're real. And if they are, boom, you picked up a buyer. Now you can go look for deals. You have somebody to call when you find something.
Hey, sorry, just a random thought. I was thinking of, on social media a lot, I'm getting a lot of ads and stuff about real estate syndicates. So syndications and things like that. And there's the real estate gurus that are kind of gathering up money. Do you ever work with, are any of your buyers syndications basically? Or? And what do you think about those? Because the next guru's coming out on my Instagram feed every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think
like raising capital and stuff like that.
Yeah, listen, I like to take deals only to credible and sophisticated buyers. Now, obviously, people wherever they get their money from is where they get their money from. But if I can look you up and see that you're getting deals done, right, and you're credible,
that's your main thing.
Yeah. Where you get your money from or how you get it has nothing to do with me. Now, if I know somebody's a syndicator and I know, they've done shady, maybe not shady, or they just, they have pulled out of deals before and things like, these are things that you're going to learn. You do the right research, you're going to find out. Then it's a different story. So if I can see the company, if I could see their group, if whatever, like I just sent a $34.5 million deal to one of my good clients, right? Now they don't buy, this one's in Texas, right? They don't buy in Texas, they don't own in Texas yet, but they're meeting with some of their partners who want to place some money into, it's exactly what they want. Growth market, 100 plus units, blah, blah, blah. Right. So he's like, you know what, David, this is not for us, but we're going to have a talk with our partners today. It's exactly what they're looking for. Send it to me. Yeah. Now, I know it's not for him, but it's technically for their group. Now, they're one of the biggest owners on the West Coast. I have no problem just sending it to them because now I know they're going to go raise money from this group, but they're credible. So whatever they're doing, I know is kosher. It's none of my business anyways, right?
Yeah. Again, it's the same question. You don't really get into the financing and how they get money, but they do deals and they do legit deals, and it could possibly be something we can get done here.
Yeah, well, listen, we live in an age where, thank God, we can find out anything we want.
Yeah, I know.
Mostly, especially when it comes to business. I can check on CoStar in a second. Can tell me. Are you familiar with CoStar?
I'm not. No.
Okay, so
it's a commercial.
Yes, it's a commercial database. It can tell me in a second who you are, how much you own, how often you sell, what you sell. Are you on the buy side, the sell side?
Is it individual's name, or do you got to look up an LLC?
I can see anything. I can literally.
But how do you know the owner of the LLC?
I can literally click on this building. Okay, no, the owner of the LLC you'll have to go look up.
That's what I'm saying. So how do you know how much I bought? If let's just say
it's an LLC.
Yeah, it's an LLC.
Well, I'll go put that LLC.
Or maybe it's a new LLC.
So I'll go get that LLC, right? Very easily. Look up the registered agent. Now, obviously, if it's your account or something, but if it's you, right? I plug your name into CoStar, it's going to come up. CoStar does that research too a lot. So on a lot of it, right? It on a lot of CoStar, it already does that research. So it'll say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LLC, David Cohen as a registered thing. Now, I can type in this address, okay, of this property. This is what CoStar does.
Because I feel like I'm hiding my information. My stuff's under Wyoming. That's a Wyoming holding company that owns this, that owns that.
But when it comes to bigger properties, right? It's not like that. Okay. Even if it's owned by an LLC, like a private group that opens up an LLC to put the property under, it'll still show them as true owners. So CoStar allows me to, for example, we are in this office building. Right. I can type this office building into CoStar. It will pull up the property management company, the recorded owner, and the true owner. Let's say the true owner is David Cohen or the Cohen Group Realty. I can click on that. Now, as soon as I click on Cohen Group Realty, I have a tab of buildings or like my profile, a tab of all, it'll say owns 47 properties, have all those buildings. I can click, then a sales tab will show how often I buy, what I buy, the prices, the dates. Am I on the sell side or the buy side of these properties? Then I can even click on contacts. It'll have Andrea and I, CEO, Pedro Gomez, President, Joseph Little, Vice President, their emails, their contacts. I can see everything.
Yeah, data is accessible, basically. Huh?
It allows me to do what I do.
Right.
I can do anything. I can if I decide I want to sell this building, 99% of the agents are going to do what? Find the phone number to the owner and call it. And they're going to get stuck at his receptionist. But I can go right around all of them because I have his email right there. I can get his email and email him my pitch directly, and it's going to go straight to him.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. It's not that they don't understand that. It's common sense. What I do is, if we sat and I explained to you exactly how we do things, you would literally sit there. You would literally sit there and be like, because it's so simple that it's not simple.
That's literally what I'm learning from this conversation, is that a lot of the stuff that you do, it's like it is common sense and it's a little bit of grunt work, but it's like you said, it's simple.
Let me give it to you as simple as possible. If I open this door right now and there is, 1 million red roses sitting outside this door, okay, and I need to get those off. We need to sell them. The quickest way for me to sell those is to find out who are the biggest buyers of roses in Santa Ana, first and foremost, right? Now I came across 5 companies, okay? Now I'm going to do deeper research. My next level, right, is out of these 5 companies, which one of these people buy long stem roses that we have out here, okay? Okay, 3 of them are the biggest buyers of long stem roses. I see they bought X amount in the last year. Now, out of these 3 groups, which one own more red roses? Okay, I think this is where I'm starting. Okay. I'm going to reach out to that acquisitions person. I'm going to tell him what I do. Okay. Knowing that he can go look me up and see, okay, this guy's credible.
Right.
I'm going to tell him, hey, this is what I do. I was doing my research around a deal that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing you the favor.
Right.
Research around a deal that I have. And I choose, or I'm choosing based off of the research that I've done in my deal, that you might be the best buyer for it. And I'm choosing to share this with you before I share it with anybody else.
Yeah, make him feel special. Yeah.
And he's going to say,
oh,
I
wow,
appreciate
you got me. Yeah, thank you so much. You got me this deal. Let me look at
all
it.
I want to know
Yeah.
is that, should this be something for you? You go through me. And if not, you just let me know. I'm not going to take it to anybody until I hear a yes or no.
I like that.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're just calculating. That's how you sell anything. Anything. You know, that's how you sell anything without knowing nothing. Right? Just like, I mean, anything
Shoes,
that we're in,
watches,
whatever it is. Yeah,
cars, anything,
bro. I'm going to look for the best buyer of wooden table. That's where I'm going to start.
Right.
You know, I want to sell, you know, let's take it something real, right? Something that people, give an example, because something that you know, because $100 million deal seems unattainable, right? Somebody gifts me $100 million yacht and I want to sell $100 million yacht. Obviously I can put it on the market and yacht sellers, but no, I'm just going to do research on the biggest yacht buyers. If I want to double end the deal, I'm going to do that way. So it's so simple.
Yeah.
I'm just a matchmaker.
Yeah, you're reverse engineering the buyer, basically.
I'm simply, you know, people put, you know, guys and girls together and all the bachelors, and I just
you're putting buyers and sellers together, but on large multifamily commercial deals, basically.
Just matchmaking.
Yeah, man, it's not that hard.
And that's what.
Or does it? You made it sound like it's not that hard. At least wait till I get on my computer and I start doing it. Then I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, you know, it's a tricky place it's a tricky environment to play in, because you have to love the art of putting the deal together, not necessarily real estate in a general. I can't tell you that I love real estate.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
I like that.
I can't. I do not love commercial real estate. I do not love being a broker. I do not love real estate in a general.
Yeah.
What I love is looking like this, being like this, not graduating college, not even high school. Like not, you know, wearing my sweats and my stuff to work and putting $100 million, $150 million, 60, 70, $80 million, driving here on the 134. One of the buildings I sold literally engulfs the freeway. Like driving past those things and being like, dude, I remember when that shit started, like from a phone call or from nothing. When I'm chilling in my office, you know, with my calling with, you know, listening to rap music, 50 Cent or whatever, you know, just making calls one by one, just chilling. Like that's where that came. Or when this person told me no, and you know, and I push a little further, or they said no, they're not sellers, and I just got someone to write an offer, but it was some huge group that I've never dealt with, and I, you know, barely got them to do it by painting some story. Like that's the greatest deals that I look over my shoulder, and they, it's like, see, are the ones that start from thin air. See, because there are millions of successful real estate agents.
Yeah.
Right? Especially where we live. No, first of all, there's millions of real estate agents. Okay.
Yeah. There's not. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But there's tons of successful real estate, especially where we live.
Yeah, because everything is $1 million plus.
What happens when they die?
Well, somebody's gonna have to take over.
No. They're just successful real estate agents.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going with it. Okay.
They're just successful real estate agents, right? But like
you're talking about their legacy, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what it's about. It's about the legacy. It's about being legendary. It's about what the hell am I doing selling $132 million buildings off market, double ending them, doing or whatever.
You're trying to do things that haven't been done before to, you know, put your imprint on the business.
That's what people are going to remember. Forget people remembering that. That's different. Like
you can't take your money to the grave either.
I love going places or meeting individuals or going places, and they're like, "That's David Cohen." Like
this guy,
this person, like, you know, and not in a bad way, but just, you know, even them thinking like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, but you don't even know what. It's funny. We don't even know what they were expecting when they say that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's what drives me, making those cool deals happen.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that legacy part, and I like that stuff. Those memories and stuff like that. Even I think about that stuff. I'm doing little dinky deals, and I still remember that.
Still,
kind of stuff.
every
deal
is a
matters.
blessing.
Yeah,
people don't do any deals. We have to remember that, right?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people.
People try forever and don't do any.
Yeah, dude, people are struggling in this business right now. So you're absolutely right. I want to maybe just I don't want to keep you for too long. I appreciate your time.
I'm chilling with you, my brother. I left it for you today.
Oh, nice, man. So, I mean, another, I guess, quick topic, really quick, is I guess what is next, right? What's next for David Cohen? I know you started the coaching business, or I don't know if it's a business or not. I guess you could kind of explain that, but what's going on with that?
Yeah. So what's next for David Cohen? I sit back and I watch the social media.
You're still a young
world.
guy, by the way. You're still a young guy. Yeah. You got a lot of, you got a lot of life to live.
Exactly. So I just turned 33, right?
Yeah.
But I sit back and I watch, the social media stuff and all these gurus and things like that.
I was just talking about, yeah.
I just kind of sit back and realize that the game needs me. The reason the game needs me is because I'm a regular
sound like a
dude.
rap song, but yeah.
I'm a regular dude who, again, didn't graduate high school, didn't graduate college, didn't, just a regular ass dude who plays on a field that I'm not supposed to be playing in. And I'm literally here to tell individuals that everything you've been told, right, that you need to go to this big brokerage and do things this certain way, right, or look a certain way to sell big deals is not necessarily a lie. Just that you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
See, I like I said, I can take anyone off the street and get them to find deals to work, because that's all it takes. Just finding something to work on, because finding a buyer to work on something is the easy part. All you have to do is find something to work on, and everything starts there.
Right.
So as long as you know what to say, right, that's it. That's all you need. Mm-hmm. So I literally, another thing is everybody teaches you how to invest, right? How to invest, how to wholesale. Nobody teaches you how. There's not a person out there that teaches you how to broker deals. And I'm not even teaching you traditional brokering deals. I'm literally telling you, hey, you don't even need a license. Get it in referral, get it whatever. I have wholesalers who pay me to coach them on only how to find deals. What they do with it from then on is up to them.
Yeah.
But that's what's next. We've been filming, we've been doing the everything. See, I'm extremely versatile. I'm a hybrid athlete. Obviously, I do real estate. I'm still young, so I'm still in this field. So in my coaching thing, right, the reason why it's so successful is, and I can literally tell people do this and this will happen, and I have numerous individuals doing multi-million-dollar deals in their respective states, is because I'm literally doing what I'm teaching them. See, I'm not some 60-year-old dude who was a successful broker, or my system worked and I'm like, hey, do this worked for me.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm telling them is what we're doing every day.
Yeah.
So
practice what you preach.
Yeah. So I have now I'm like, I've probably coached like 70 people on how to broker off-market deals, large off-market deals in whatever states they are. Yeah. I have a mixed batch of individuals. Some are people with no license whatsoever who are just interested in doing deals or finding deals or whatever. Or wholesaling deals. Some are residential agents who want to break into the commercial world, and some are commercial agents who just want to do bigger deals. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing about it is I get everyone, and I love getting the minorities, right? Because I'm a minority myself. So having minorities come and teaching them, those are the individuals who mostly think, hey, I have to go to Marcus & Millichap. I have to go to CBRE. I have to go the JLL route, right? When you don't. Like, come here. Let me teach you how you don't need anybody. Not other than hanging your license at a brokerage so you can do deals. You don't need anybody. I'm going to teach you how to find your own deals.
Yeah.
How to find your own buyers, and that's it. And I'm talking about big buyers. I'm going to show you that you can do anything, because it is not about anything other than being able to get the information out of this person and getting him to want to look at it. That's all.
So that's what's next, huh?
What's next is just showing the world,
showing the world
how to
who
do
you
that.
are and how to get on your level.
Putting out the videos are going to start to come out, the things, and just start to get to a place. So doing a lot of podcasts, doing a lot of public speaking stuff, and things of that nature. Man, building a Discord. It's almost done, and we're gonna start to build this brand and start to change the game and teach people, because it's just about who we impact. You know what I mean? If I can teach,
that.
You don't need a brokerage.
So you want to impact as many people as you want, not necessarily like on your specific.
That's
team,
what it's about.
Listen,
man, the more karma points I can gather for whatever the next life is, that's the point. So just the coaching business gonna really take over this social media influencer thing, and just my story and everything, and start inspiring people and teaching people that anybody can do it.
Yeah, I know. You didn't even have a lot. I know you're going to get into the social media game. You didn't have a lot on your page, and I still was kind of interested. I saw you. I looked you up. I kind of did my background.
So that's kind of how we've been moving for the longest. But now it's time. We've been gathering,
take
and
it
building,
up the next level.
Nobody has what we have. Nobody does what we do.
Yeah,
nobody looks how we look doing what we do. And I say that all not in coming from a place of like trying to be an a-hole, but from a place of like, I'm regular. Like, dude, you could do it too. Anybody could do it.
Yeah.
I'm a normal ass guy, like, and who just found a way and built an outside of the box approach to commercial real estate. And now I'm building a community and a place to where, God willing, one day, that's all I'll do is just teach people how to do this stuff. Just go places.
You're not interested in like going that other route we were talking about, syndicated. Like, you're not interested in raising capital?
Absolutely not.
You want to stick to just the coaching?
I like to worry about my money and my money only, not other people's money.
Yeah, it is. I know it's a lot of man, it's a lot of stress.
The end goal for me, right? The end goal for me is literally just to continue to travel and speak, at places and just to build this coaching thing to where I could literally just teach people that you don't need anybody, any brokerage, anything. You can find deals yourself and do deals yourself, regardless of size, regardless of anything.
Yeah. I mean, but it is tough with like a 9-to-5 job if you're talking to somebody that has like a W-2 to kind of do that.
Absolutely.
To kind of quit.
But that's tough. That's
like
tough for many.
Family and
that's tough for many different reasons. Not just the fear of quit. The fear of, first of all, growing up in a 9-to-5 mindset and then wanting to leave.
Who is your coaching? Who is a typical coaching student?
Yeah. So they're people in the real estate world. They're not people in 9-to-5. Yeah. They're either
they want to take the next step.
So people who look for deals, whatever they're doing, whether it's wholesaling or investing, they use me because our scripts are different. Everything we do is different, right? Mm-hmm. So they use me for that, just the skill of finding deals, because essentially that's what I do. I'm an expert deal finder. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm a cold caller. Then residential agents who want to get into commercial real estate and want to sell off-market deals, and then commercial agents who may be selling commercial deals already or not selling commercial deals already, and they just want to do larger off-market deals. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, the number one most sought-after commodity in real estate or in any business is what people don't know about. Is off-market deals. In real estate, the number one sought-after commodity, most rarest, most valuable thing is an off-market deal. There's a stigma
to it that you're getting a really good deal as well.
Which is not always the case. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it still is, everybody wants
a deal.
Maybe
it's not a really good deal. It's still a deal. Hell, yeah.
So, yeah. Listen, sometimes you're overpaying just to get something somebody doesn't know about.
But maybe there's a value add or something that...
Yeah, always. There's always going to be a reason. Yeah. You never know. It could be a deal in an area that if this gets listed, oh, man, it's game over. But so you never know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So the coaching thing and
the coaching thing, the social media thing, helping people, just starting to help people. How many people can I impact? That's it.
Yeah. Well, I was going to quickly get into you don't do offices, but I've just been reading a lot of stuff online about how the financing in the office space is about to hit the fan, and everything's going to balloon in terms of financing, and they're not going to be able to refinance because rents aren't there anymore, and everybody works from home and it's all remote. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, it's not really your space, but I don't know if you
I don't know too much about. I actually have a listed office building. What I can tell you, I have a listed office building, and I haven't even got a single offer, and it's been listed for a couple months. It belongs to a client of mine. It's just they pretty much priced it for what they paid for it, but it's just sitting because the office territory.
How the occupancy's down.
It's about 60%, but that's less of the case and more so just the fact that office is not moving right now. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many stories pop up of individuals selling for far less than what they paid for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of why we just focus on apartment buildings.
Multifamily people need housing, so it's never going to die.
No matter what, right? They'll always need housing.
It's a space I'd love to get into. I just I don't know. Maybe I need to learn a little bit from you. I wonder how to get into it. But where there's a will, there's a way. I know that for sure.
Anytime, man. And that's, I'm more than happy to chop it up with you. And that's where we're at today, right? We're at a place where we're putting all the knowledge on video. We're putting all the knowledge on tape. We're everything from these
are online classes, or are you willing to do in-person type of stuff?
Right now it's one-on-one, right? So the people who do the coaching with me, it's one-on-one, right? Soon it's not going to be one-on-one as we start to put this stuff out because I'm just not going to have the time with everything that's going on.
Right.
And I only keep it to a close amount of individuals. So many people hit me up and I just put them off. And as one leaves, I'll insert one, right? Because it's basically right now, it's basically 10 weeks, once a week for about an hour and a half with me, one-on-one. And the beautiful thing about it is there's no set course. I literally take you from wherever you are. And by the 10th time we speak, which ends up being like 15 hours, you're me.
Yeah.
You're a walking, talking me. The way that I look for deals, the things that I say, you say. The way that I talk, you talk. The way that I handle rebuttals, you handle rebuttals. So it's about taking that person and making them me. So right now people are jumping all over it because they're literally getting me one-on-one, like full, no course. Hey, my job is to take you from where you are and make you me, regardless of what that looks like. Very soon, that's not going to happen, right? Yeah. Because obviously I'm not going to have the time to do so. So as we start to put out these videos, we're building this Discord. The best bet for people to get in touch with me or have me teach them, or it's really just reach out to me through DM right now as we're going to start to funnel everybody towards this thing. And yeah, man, it's something that I'm excited about.
Like
all these people that you probably watch, on Instagram or that you follow, all these real estate investors. I don't want to drop any names, but we're talking about the same people that you're thinking about. They're all friends of mine, and they're all like, "What the hell are you doing, dude? Been begging me for years that I need to be on this stuff." And it's
coaching or mentoring, I guess you could say.
Not even that, just doing the social media stuff.
Oh, okay.
That I'd be doing a disservice if I wasn't sharing my story and what I do with the world. And that's what we're doing right now. It's game time, and we're just getting started.
Yeah. And you don't even go to some. You're talking about you don't even go to some of these properties that you're selling or.
Yeah, no. I put together deals from
everything's
my computer.
Online now anyway. So.
I put together deals from my computer. There's many properties, properties that I've sold that I've never seen till this day. You can't travel
the whole United States just to look at a property. That's unless you were doing the syndicate stuff where they want to see you go out, but you're not doing that.
I like to go during inspections, regardless of where it is. I get on a plane and I go. But there's many times that inspections happen on a day that I can't, or something's going on personally or whatever, so I don't go. So like, that $132 million building, I sold it in 2019. I didn't see it until like 2022.
Yeah.
And then there's other buildings that I've never seen. Why? Because I don't need to.
You're making the deal happen. Everything's on paper.
Let the buyer go fly there. Yeah. He's the one who's going to buy it.
Yeah, and you got him.
Let him go fly there. Let him put an offer together. See that he wants to buy it. I'll go there during inspections.
Yeah.
And that's a whole cool thing in itself. Is I love doing deals in other state because I know I'm gonna get on a plane. It's like I'm living a movie. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be here.
Hell yeah, man, that sounds.
Or at least
fun.
I guess I'm supposed to be here. You never. I guess.
I mean, man, with hard work, you are supposed to be here. I mean, there is an end goal at the end of the day. So I don't think you should say that. You are supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Actually. Yeah. You put in the work and you met the right people, and you're not just lucky. You put in the work. So. But anyway, I just want to say, first of all, I guess, thank you for your time.
No, my pleasure, man.
Why don't you tell the people where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, so on a few places, not too many. So on Instagram, it's at the David Cohen. On Instagram, it's at the David Cohen. On Twitter, it's the David Cohen _. And that's really it. We're building a Discord. It'll be done soon. We're really like coming. Correct.
You're about to ramp it up, man. I can see it.
Yeah, we'll
I can see it.
but the best place to reach me right now is on Twitter, the David Cohen _ and then
X.
on Instagram at the David Cohen. Yeah, X.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, X. Anyway, guys, thank you, David, and thanks everybody for watching. And everybody catch David Cohen online. He's doing big things in the multifamily commercial space, and he's killing it. And I'm looking forward to, obviously watching your journey as it goes and getting to know you a little bit better as the years go on.
I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it, everybody. Peace.